to coffee is I'm going to introduce two lesson representations to you. I'll talk a little bit more about what that means in a minute. And then after the coffee break, I'm going to introduce some opportunities for collaboration of sharing the things that you've been producing and also the discussions that you've been having. Now, earlier on, you guys identified collaboration and sharing as one of the key parts of using technology effectively, but it can be one of the most challenging parts of the process. The first representation I'm going to show to you is a representation at what could be described as a macro level, an overview level. So, and what it allows you to do is create a vision of what the course is going to be like for people, a kind of a flavour of the course. So it's not about the specifics of tool and learning outcome and those sorts of things. It's looking at the lesson at a much higher level than that, an overview. And this particular representation has come out of the Learning Design Project. So it argues that there are four components of structured learning provision in any context. And those four components are content and activities, communication and collaboration, reflection and demonstration, and guidance and support. Okay. And we argue that the first part of lesson planning should be identifying, in a broad sense, what those are going to be, what those are going to consist of. So a broad overview of what content and activities students are going to be engaged in, a broad overview about the ways in which students are going to communicate and collaborate with each other and also with you or other support staff in the classroom. An overview of how you're going to expect students to reflect on their learning and demonstrate to you and themselves what it is that they've learned. And also an overview of the guidance and support that's going to be required in order for them to complete the lesson successfully. And we know from looking at the risk management approach of using technologies in the classroom that support and guidance is perhaps a really important one, but not necessarily one we factor into our lesson plans on a day-to-day basis. So the first representation that I would like you to put together of a lesson is this one, and I've given you a big paper copy on your tables. It looks like this. On your USB keys on your laptops, I've also given you an electronic copy, and if you would prefer to put together an electronic copy, then that's fine too. I put them on USB keys, so it's easy for you to transfer data about if you want to. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to choose a task that you would like your students to engage in. Choose a technological tool which has appropriate affordances. So that might be one that you've looked at today, or you might decide to ditch those 4 Web 2 tools and use something completely different. And within a defined environment, so be specific about the sort of environment that you might be, this lesson might happen in. Is it going to happen outside? Is it going to happen in a classroom? Is it going to happen with 12-year-olds or 17-year-olds? And I'd like you, just as an overview, for the first 20 minutes, to think about the activities and content of your lesson, the guidance and support that you're going to provide and how you're going to deliver that guidance and support, the ways in which students communicate and collaborate with each other and you, and the ways in which students will reflect on and demonstrate their learning. Just an overview flavour, a one-page at-a-glance view of your lesson. Okay, so about 20 minutes. And if anyone needs me to come over and explain that in more detail, then just raise a hand between Nod and me. Okay?